Hello, and welcome back to the Coup de Villa channel. I'm Scott Cooper, and I'm here with Noah Fisher and Tommy Lazaridis to review Bournemouth versus Aston Villa from back on Sunday. Yes, Villa were going into this crazy December period with big games coming up, lots of games, and we got off to a reasonable start to December, I would say. It's a glass half full or half empty question today, and we'll be bringing that and much more after this. Okay, so yes, we were going down to the Vitality Stadium on the South Coast. It was Bournemouth away. They were struggling, but, had picked up a few results lately. So it was always going to be a tough game. We don't have a good record there. And Noah, I'll go to you first because it was a 2-2 draw. A lot of people sort of angry with this result. A little bit of people thinking, oh, this is a missed opportunity with the difficult games coming up against City and Arsenal. But I think I kind of had a different feeling. I felt like, we showed something to get back into the game. We looked positive at times going forward. It was just defensive errors and maybe the changing of the squad that cost us, I thought.
I mean, we kind of speaking pre-podcast. It's just a tale of two mistakes that at the end of it cost us the game, but it's not an easy place to go. I mean, we've only got one win there, which was in 2015 when Rudy Gestede scored, and we lost
Tim Sherwood days.
Yeah, so it just wasn't. It's just not. We don't play too well. We had two goal scorers in 3 games going into the game, so it was Gestede and Samatta. We got destroyed there on day one last year, and it's not like a bogey ground for us. And if you'd offer me a point before the game away from home, where our record this year hasn't been as good as last year, I know we just beat Tottenham away, but to be down twice and to fight back and to get a draw, you kind of, I think, accept the result, and especially with the last minute equaliser.
Exactly. And I would have definitely accepted the draw after the first 5 minutes or so, Tommy, when we went a goal down. It was Diego Carlos giving the ball away from the back line, similar to the goal we conceded in midweek against Legia Warsaw as well. That game we came back and won, but just, this possession style, which we've all enjoyed over the last year, does have its drawbacks when we are a little bit too casual playing the ball out from the back. And that Semenyo is a very good player for Bournemouth, and he punished us.
Well, it's funny we talk about Semenyo. He probably shouldn't have been on the pitch after dragging Bailey down. But, anyway, Let's move on from that. Actually, no, fuck it. Let's focus on it.
No. Let's talk about that, because that was a very controversial moment. He seemed to commit 5 fouls and, only got a yellow card.
Yeah, and then we scored, right? So it kind of changed the momentum. And then on top of that, then he gives away that silly free kick. Nothing at all. Like, it was clearly deliberate from behind. So that's 2 he's got away with. I question VAR. Seems like we're not the only club now really querying it. But all in all, look, great for them to concede. Sorry, it was a shit goal for us to concede. Great finish by Semenyo for them. Shit pass by Carlos, to be honest. It wasn't under any pressure. And look, I'm no expert. I'm not saying go back to, bottom div football. Fucking hoof it if you're not sure, right? Start again. We'll reset. Just giving it to there. I really think we lacked Kamara this game. I think it was just so evident. I think Tielemans did great stepping in for him, but just Kamara's just positioning is just a bit of a bulldog, and really think we missed him. And again, through stupid cards that he, through stupid accumulation of cards, is now led to a suspension when we needed him. And it sucks. Fucking Forest, Bournemouth, we're losing to the scrappers, man. That's what's worrying me. And then come against big clubs, it was like, oh, what is protection? Well, I said, well, mathematically, we seem to be winning. So I'm backing us in against the big teams. I'm actually worried when we played the smaller teams. Right.
Well, we didn't actually lose this game like that. So I know how you feel. It did feel like a bit of a downer after the Tottenham result, after, our good run of form at home. And this is, people were saying, oh, Villa are a different side away than they are at home. But then last week we had that good victory. And there is some truth to that. We seem to get caught cold for sort of 5 or 10 minute periods. Maybe early on or just after half time, and that happened again, Noah. And I think the changes that Emery made, I know it's a very busy period with 3 games in basically a week this week. So we've got, Man City on Wednesday, Arsenal on Saturday coming up. And he probably was looking forward to those games, bringing in Zaniolo, bringing in Diego Carlos as well, moving Konsa to right back. Cash and Diaby both had a rest. Boubacar Kamara was suspended, as Tommy's already highlighted. And I just think it didn't quite work. I think in the midfield, I think John McGinn went to that sort of more forward role out of the 3. I probably would have preferred him being the more defensive role and pushing Tielemans on a bit more, because he seems to get those pockets of space. And Diego Carlos, well, you can't sell me he's a better defender centre-back than Konsa, and I want Konsa in his best position. Well, how did you see that?
I mean, I also do think it was tactical, not only the games coming up, which also affects it. But when we defend, Kamara does drop back into a centre-back position, along with the 2 other centre-backs. And I think that Emery might have thought that Konsa as a right-back, when we go forward and then we defend, he drops back into a centre-back. But I don't know. Like, Konsa can play right-back, but I'd rather him be where he's been absolutely dominant for us this season and end of last season. But the one thing I think that's different this year, especially at home and away, is when Emery first came in, we were really, really tough to score against. We were really, really a lot of clean sheets, under a lot of 1-0 wins. Might concede 1 goal every now and then. But this season, it seems like we're conceding like almost 2 goals a game. It feels like just about. And I don't know, something that probably needs to change. When Cash came on, I think we played a lot better because we were getting destroyed down that right-hand side. I know Bailey did score a great goal, but I think that's where Bournemouth wants to target. And when Cash got on, we looked a little bit more solid. And I still think there's so many positives to take. And obviously, Diaby gets a rest. He looked fantastic when he came on as well. So, on to the reigning champions.
Yeah, I was quite happy with Bailey starting, Tommy, because Diaby had sort of had a few weaker games, and probably was due a rest. And I thought when Bailey came on against Legia Warsaw in midweek, he looked really sharp, and he's looked quite good against Spurs as well. So, and he scored a great goal, which got us back in the game. And at that point, I was thinking, well, we can kick on here and really, take it to the next level. It was a brilliant goal from him. What did you think of that strike on his favoured left peg?
I think he's been coming on and doing a job. First of all, loves the club, wants to play his part, a lot of passion. And then it's just a matter of if he starts, right, is he going to be consistent? Could we get a full 90 out of him? And I think he definitely, justified his position. Great goal, right? Oh, it was awesome. I thought, all right, we've got this, right? Because just the way to retaliate, you can see against these teams, your heads go down. If you can see the second, then, we're kind of chasing the lead all of a sudden, or a point, right? Unfortunately, which we had to settle for. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked lethal. I think Diaby could have started in front of Zaniolo. I didn't get that, though. That's what confused me. I'd love to see Diaby and Bailey. We've all been predicting it based on Bailey's form, and it's just a matter of when he starts, not if. But I'd love to see them two partnering with Watkins up front. It's a lot of speed, a lot of pace, and I think it was there for the taking, right? Like their centre-back, I forgot what his name was. I think he actually took Ollie out of the game apart from the goal. I really do. I think he had a great game. But, good forwards like Ollie, who I've always backed and never doubted once, they come up with goals when they matter. And I'm really, honestly, I really am happy to see Ollie become more clinical and he's that go-to striker that we can trust. Long may that continue, right? Now he's on that lucrative long-term contract, so not going anywhere. But I thought he was actually locked up for most of the game. That centre-back was up his ass and it just give and goes. He looked really good. I thought Duran and Ollie linked up pretty well. Could have been, could have had the lead almost, right, when Duran came on.
We looked really good in sort of 5 or 10 minute chunks, but we just couldn't really put together like a full half or a sustained amount of pressure. We had a few nice moments, but we had moments where, it felt like we were going to concede like quite easily.
Agreed.
I mean, Bournemouth had some great chances in this first half when it was 1-1. I mean, we get the goal off Diego Carlos, which I was really happy for him after he made the mistake. And then Digne's, he's a bee's dick offside or whatever. And I mean, I think it was the right call.
That was horseshit.
Well,
Yeah, but I'm not like VAR. I'm not going back to Neil Warner, but give the benefit of the doubt to the defender. Clearly, if the lino doesn't call it, then linos I assume they're in place most of the time, right? They make some lapse of judgment, but I still think give benefit of the doubt to the attacking team. We're talking now like shoelaces for God's sake, and like you said, a bee's dick. It's ridiculous.
I know
There's
it's not a
And,
good
and
look.
again, yes, we spring the offside trap a lot, and if there's teams that exploit it and score against us, I'll wear that. But I think all in all, it's better for the game because I'm not having a VAR rant. Actually, I am, to be honest. I said, well, why don't we go and change outcomes? Why don't we reallocate trophies from 10 years ago? What about Lampard's goal that crossed the line against Germany that they never paid? Are we going to go and adjust the past?
Well,
I'm all for adapting, but I'm like, it doesn't improve the game in any way. It creates more friction and, just you're ruining the authenticity of the game. Fans are shouting and, Diego celebrated. We're all back in position. Oh, it's offside, so we've all got to move back up and, defend from a goal kick.
Well, I agree with you. It's taking far too long. And I think if they went to the semi-automated offside they use in the Champions League with there's like that, the sheet of glass, if you like, and it's all AI. And, it's done quicker. I mean, yes, it's still the same in terms of, if your boot is, if your toe's offside, you're offside, right? And you've got to draw the line somewhere. It is a difficult thing for the VAR officials to sort of figure out what's best, but it's got to be quicker. I agree with you.
Get it over quick, like tennis, right? When it's out, I know you got challenges and that's done within like 5 seconds, and I can live with that, right? Respect the judgment, right? I think Federer once was actually in the right and the tech was wrong. Can't disagree with this Lord Federer himself, but I'm like, if it's wrong, it's wrong. But if it's wrong 1%, all right. Well, as long as it's right 90+%, I can live that. It's improving the game. It's better. I still don't agree with the whole only implement it now. It's either we go back and start from when football began, right? Like kicking a fucking leather volleyball days, or don't bring it in, right? It's not just going to be this. Yep, this is the rule, and we'll normalize it. But it's going to have I think it'll cause more friction.
All right, but before this gets into a Mike Dean slap fest, we'll move on because the goal was not given.
Well, how about just the poor officiating in general? I thought the ref really lost control of the game. He was just dishing out yellows for fun. Again, Semenyo should have been off, and that would have changed the complexion of the game. We would have.
That's the big talking point for Villa fans.
That's the big talking.
At 1-1, we should have been 11 against 10. He pulled Bailey back, absolutely blatant. He was on a yellow, and Tommy is angry, and I can understand.
Furious, Scott.
I know. I understand. I was angry too, and I kind of had a feeling that he was going to score the winner. He didn't, but he ended up setting up the goal for Solanke in the second half, and it was, again, we came out of the second half actually not too bad. We were knocking the ball around better. I felt like Zaniolo got dragged at halftime, which I think was a great decision from Unai. Again, making these halftime changes, not scared to say, look, you're not doing it. You're not doing what I ask of you. You're off. Just like he did with Diaby and Cash at Spurs. And Jacob Ramsey came on, and unfortunately for Jacob Ramsey, he's not quite ready yet, and I don't think he had an impact on the game. He was running around like a headless chook a lot, and it was disappointing.
Sorry, I don't mean to cut in.
Go. What
I was going to say is, what if he's not ready? Why not bring Moreno on and play fucking Digne left wing? The guy's got the most balls into the box in the entire league. Imagine what he can do if we leave him in the front half most of the game, right? And I trust Moreno, and they can alternate.
This is something I was going to bring up. Do you bring in Moreno for these matches against Man City and Arsenal? Because he looked good, and he makes that huge block, which would have made it 3-1 later in the second half. And there was another massive bit of defending, Noah, I want to talk to you about from Ezri Konsa. That last-ditch tackle. Have you seen a better tackle from a Villa player? In that they were talking on the commentary. That was Paul McGrath. I almost said Glenn McGrath. Paul McGrath. It was just coming around the back. Diving in. He had to get the ball, or he was off. Just a huge challenge.
And that's the player that we know and love, isn't it? That's the player we've been saying how good he is for so long now. Unfortunately, didn't quite get that England cap, but yes, he finally got a call up to the England squad. And I think he will continue being in the England squad because he's just an unbelievable talent. I think he's 25 now, 26. So he's getting in with maybe the peak of his powers, but he's getting better every game, I think, under Unai Emery.
Yeah.
And look, not many players, I think, take that tackle on because it's so risky. If he misses and takes him out, it's a red card, like 100% a red card. And he absolutely makes the right decision and timed it to perfection.
And I thought Pau Torres had a good game, and I want to see those two in these next two games as our center half partnership.
They're the best two.
Sorry, Diego Carlos, but you're not quite good enough to be in the team right now.
At the moment, especially when you have two high quality centre backs like those two, no disrespect to Carlos, I still think he's great, and I think the Achilles injuries really hurt him at Aston Villa because I was so excited when we got him. But you have two better centre backs,
and we've got plenty of games.
We wouldn't have conceded Solanke's goal if Konsa was actually manning up on him. Konsa's usually better and right up his arse, but I think Torres is a bit more kind of stagnant and is more interception and instead of like right up your bum, as a centre back, especially, we're talking penalty box. So I thought he should have been right up him, went under his legs. Unfortunately for him, he went the other way. Kudos to Solanke, scores one in every fucking 35 goals. So
he's actually been pretty clinical this year. I had him in my FPL. He's not bad.
Pretty good this year.
But it was a good turn. But I agree with you that it was a little bit too easy, that goal.
Why adjust it, Scott? Why adjust it? Why bring Carlos in and disrupt a functional system?
Yeah,
I just honestly think it was tactical to try to keep the three centre backs and we defend. I think it's what he likes.
Yeah,
that's what Kamara does.
I think he also wanted to rest Cash because he might be coming up against Doku on Wednesday night. I think that was part of the thinking, and just to give guys that have played every game. Like, we don't have a backup right back, and that is one of our issues. And if we're going to play deep into the Conference League, I think in the January, I'd be looking at a Cole Walker-Peters or someone from like that can come in and maybe, play second fiddle to Cash, but come in and actually make a difference in some games, because maybe Kessler Hayden get him back off loan. I don't know. But at the moment, Ezri Konsa is our right back. That's not really working. And
I'll tell you what, though, there's one player on loan that I think that we sold that should be coming back.
Diligene
Badace. I know it's a bit off topic, but what a player he is.
He's tearing it up.
What's going on with Archer? It looks like he's been a bit quiet.
He only scored the one goal.
Well, Sheffield United are absolute shambles.
And they just sacked their manager.
That's it's always going to be difficult to score goals in a team like that.
Well, I guess moving on to Arsenal and City, right? We've got predictions there. I actually think we'll beat Arsenal.
Before we do, let's talk about the moment of the match for Villa, which was the equaliser, right? Ollie Watkins. And this is why having a lethal number 9 is so important for us. And just what Emery's doing with him is so great. Because you're right, Tommy, I don't think he had a very good game overall. He wasn't in my top 3 votes, even though he scored a magnificent goal. But that touch, that header is a clinical striker's goal, and that's the sort of thing he scored against Spurs as well. Just like instant impact, bang, just no hesitation in the net. So, who wants to talk about how good that finishes?
I just want to speak about him as a whole in 2023. He has 19 goals in the Premier League in 2023, and that's the second most in a calendar year behind Dwight York in 96, where he got 21.
Wow.
So if Watkins keeps going, he's going to have our most goals in the calendar year in the Premier League. He's also won 49 Premier League goals. So you're thinking maybe 3 seasons, he overtakes our all-time Premier League leading goal scorer in Agbonlahor.
I hope he does, because I love Gabby and all, but having him as our all-time, it's not good.
Embarrassing.
I know, but
it's embarrassing.
I tell you what, though, that header is a header of class. That's a guy in form that knows where the net is. And I think he listens to the podcast, because as soon as Tommy starts talking crap about him, he just goes on these runs. And I said he would. I backed him in, so...
And the funny thing, just to really top it off, Neto was having a great game. I think he was probably their best player.
They're savouring Douglas.
We should have been up with that Luis shot, right? I mean, we probably forgot to mention that.
Yes.
Also, fucking Dougie, come on, pick a side.
He has to score there. He has to score.
You got to
that
score
was
that,
such a good move from Leon Bailey. great little pullback, and yeah, he has to score.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Oh,
he
big
didn't.
time.
And look, overall, I think from this game, I'm taking the positives. I think the fact that we got
Yeah.
a point away from home is not disastrous, and I think we can go into these games now, these two tough games against City, who have dropped 6 points in the last 3 games, and Arsenal, who are good, but are looking quite good. But we owe them one after last season, after they beat us at Villa
Yes,
Park
we
in
do.
that game. And I can see Emi Martinez, maybe coming back and
Is it
pulling
at
off a
Villa
massive
Park?
save.
Or is it the
Yes, it
Emirates?
is. The next 2 games this week are both at Villa Park. Yeah.
And if we win one of them, if we beat City, we get our longest home Premier League unbeaten streak.
That's it.
14. So it's a lot to play for.
Is it doable? I think they're
Yes,
coming
I think
off
it is.
I think they're pretty dejected.
Well,
after
you
the
just
Spurs
said,
draw.
did you just say in the chat that Doku is injured? Is that
Yeah,
breaking news?
no, AVFC Stato was talking about it and talking about Grealish missing the game with 5 suspensions. How unlucky for him. And then apparently Doku went off injured against Tottenham. So that's something I didn't know about. So
How has Grealish got
Man.
5 yellow cards? He hasn't been playing that much. Like, I was shocked when I heard that. I was like,
yeah, and also
he hasn't even
Rodri
been on the pitch.
and Rodri.
Yeah, well,
5 yellows
Rodri
as
is
well.
a huge out for them and
He
for us.
always plays well against us, Rodri.
Yeah.
Always. So that's huge.
Yeah, so like they could be a bit weak, and they've obviously they've got a lot of games coming up too, and they might do a bit of rotation. And this season they don't have as big a squad as they've normally got. Got a few injuries, and every team does. But they've lost a few, and they're bringing in these young kids and those sort of players. So I don't know. I hopefully. I mean, I don't remember the last time we beat City at home.
I do.
Maybe was that Weimann?
Was it Andy Weimann?
Had to be the Weimann one, yeah.
Well, that was a long time ago. So
was that 2013? Over 10 years, I reckon.
So yeah, I would love to see it. It would be a great time to do it. We would go ahead of them in the league.
I think the last time we got a point against them at Villa Park would have been Delph's return to Villa Park.
It was last year we got a point.
Oh, yeah, of course we did, yeah. I forgot when Stevie G was.
Well, Stevie G got a point. It was about the only thing he did last year. But yeah, look, Haaland's going to be a worry, sure. They're a great team, but they're not playing at their very best. And I think at home we are playing at almost our very best. We keep conceding goals. It'd be nice to get a clean sheet, but we're looking sharp. We're looking better than we do away from home. We've got the crowd on our side. We keep churning out results, and this would be a great way to get the record. So
exactly.
We've got the best keeper in the world. Always helps. We're not going to mention Mr. Man of the Match again.
Yeah, I think he probably was our man of the match, Martinez.
By
probably
far.
Between him. I think Konsa probably earned a vote as well, just with that tackle in itself.
Yeah,
and then I think it was Martinez, Konsa, Ollie by the looks of it. It was either or some threw in Bailey for Konsa. So
yeah, but
like I said.
Should we do the predictions?
I think so. Let me get my phone with the notepad up, which I'm still keeping track of. I did miss a couple of weeks, so I got to go back and get the predictions. But
all right, so we've got 2 games this week. So Man City at home and Arsenal at home. So Tommy, how do you think we'll go?
I am going to go 1-0 at home. I think we'll break the record. I think they're quite dejected. Their squad's somewhat depleted. I know I've been predicting clean sheets, Bonnie, but I'm going to stick with it. So 1-0 for City.
It has to work. And what's Arsenal?
And what about Arsenal?
Arsenal, I think it's going to be, I reckon it'll be like a 3-2. I was going to say 4-3, but I'll go 3-2. I think we'll concede, but I think Emery's going to walk out on top. I think he's got a point to prove.
I think
Master in The Apprentice.
Okay, I think we'll beat the record too, but I think it'll be 3-2, a bit of a thriller. And then I'll say that will probably be the end of our run, and we will draw to Arsenal 1-1.
You don't even feel confident saying draw, Scott. You can be honest. It's fine.
Well, no, I'm just throwing out a different result because
something different.
If anyone said 2-2 against Bournemouth, we probably would have thrown stones at them.
The Bournemouth predictions, I guess me and Owen got closest with 2-1 Technically,
Yeah.
I thought my 6-0 was looking pretty good until we
that was
conceded.
that was your Legia Warsaw prediction.
Hey, it was close, but
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah. It
Jeez,
was
my
there was
prediction-
6-0 fighting in the streets.
Yeah.
I heard about that. They've got some dirty fans, man.
Not that's disgraceful.
Yeah,
But-
well, we should probably talk about that a little bit because Legia Warsaw had 900 seats allocated.
They got to
because
reduce massively.
They got it reduced because they've had trouble in Europe before with crowd trouble, and they brought over like 3,000 fans or more, and they were causing trouble in Birmingham all day, throwing things at police, this sort of thing, and then
A couple of them got in the home end too. I saw
yes.
Max's video. They kicked a couple of them out from the home end. So
yeah, and
bring out the shiv.
I don't know, an hour or so before the game, they decided that they weren't going to let them in because of the trouble. And
what I heard today, Scott, is apparently if they got into the ground and caused trouble, Aston Villa is responsible and they get a massive fine.
yes.
But it was the West Midlands Police that said no. So so much credit goes to them because they were getting peppered by these supporters. One of them got bloody lit on fire by a flare.
Yeah,
and that was
three. There was 3 police injured. Yeah,
yeah.
it was very bad.
No way.
And we had them throwing bottles and things into the ground in between the gap of the whole tent.
They raided the burger van.
Well,
yeah,
and then one of them slipped over trying to throw it in. So that was pretty funny.
As they say, there's good and bad in everyone. So obviously, look, everyone out there, if you have a Polish friend or if you know someone that's Polish, punch them square in the fucking face. All right, so kill one, you kill them all. No, I'm kidding.
Poor Matty Cash. Poor Matty Cash, eh?
I know.
Kashowski. He's declaring. Yeah, he's declaring for England again.
Well, yeah, he got dropped from the last Polish squad. So
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you got to be pretty bad to get dropped from Poland.
I know. They got some big qualifiers coming up with the Euros around the corner. There was the big draw the other night. So yeah, look, I'm just glad we got through that game.
Right.
We didn't get the 2 goals, which meant we were definitely top of the table, but we need an absolute sort of disaster. Yeah, we only need a draw, and even a defeat, we could still top the group, I think.
Also, maybe while we're just here, should we just shout out to some of the new fans, go through some of the comments?
Yeah, you do it, Tommy. Go on.
Is that cool? Got silly business. Bonnie, we know it's you. Yes, I will always predict by clean sheets. By the way, yes, Bonnie. So Bonnie's our manufacturer. We are having a chat to get Owen a Coupe de Villa sign. And Bonnie, just so you can reference it here, I will cover the shipping. So you've just got to I will pay for the delivery, whatever it is.
There you go, silly business. Yep. Get onto it.
Got Kieran Smith, 1796. I haven't seen him comment before, but I think we acquired about 5-6 new subs since last pod.
Yeah,
we were at
it was a good. Thanks for all your support on the last video. Did very well.
Yep.
And thanks for Noah on putting that one up.
Always we got Kieran Smith, 1796. What time to be a Villa fan? Excellent second half after Spurs came at us in the first. Top 4 UTV. You said it, Kieran. Graham Harahan, he said, love seeing Owen on this pod. Him and Max and Co do an amazing job Villa on tour. And the fact that they can always get to the Villa matches. Martinez won us the game. That was last game, actually. So anyway, thank you, Graham. Always appreciate it. Horahan, still don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Jeff, we love you, Jeff. What more can we say? It makes me wonder how Buendia, Mings and Moreno will get back in the starting lineup. Well, as you can see, Moreno's probably lined up already. Villa 19, is that Mohammed? Is that Mohammed Adam?
That's Mohammed, yeah.
It is Mohammed Adam.
But our key players all season. Anyway, I love the fact Tommy's on board. Ollie, the greatest striker in the history of the world. Absolutely, Mohammed. You heard it here. Dr. Defib, first top 4 show. Feels good to be part of. Well, unfortunately, not this week.
We're still in the top 4. We're still in.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, there you go. I just turned on. I turned up my phone, went to bed. I said, "Fuck this" after the game. Anyway, I was actually about to go to bed. I said, "Oh fuck, we're not going to do it." And then we score, and I'm like, "All right, I can make this last night."
That's the life. That's the life of an Aussie Villa fan.
The problem is new bloody extended, out of time in the first. I'm like, man, someone's going to bed at 3. It was like 10 past already. Textra Vive goes, we will win tomorrow and top the group villains. So you called that, but unfortunately not against Bournemouth. Where's the host Coupe de Villa? Marine Boy 1964. Someone's born in 64 and you're still tuning in. Well done. Good one. Look at you using technology. Well done.
I've also got here some questions from Roger from a couple of videos.
Last two,
Go.
Last two. Got Ken M. Come on, can't look. I love you guys, man. You're funny. We love you too, Ken. And Textra Vivo predicted 4-1 Villa. Unfortunately, not Textra. So anyway, on to Roger.
No. Okay, so
questions.
2 videos ago, Roger, he's a king. He's one of our biggest fans. He didn't comment on the last video. I'm not sure where he's been, but
let us know, Roger. Put some in the comments.
Yeah, put some more questions in because we do love them. We told you we get to them. So here they are. So would you take Grealish back at Villa in January or the summer? Do you think it would disrupt what we already have, or would you get him back?
I mean, I know Scott's answer.
I'd take him back.
The way I like to say is you could have a really fast car, but there's nothing wrong with an extra NOS tank. Do you know what I mean?
I think I get that metaphor.
Come on, let's not act like he's not fucking probably the first name on the sheet, right?
No, I love Grealish. I love him. Don't get me wrong, I love him. I was so happy when I met him when I was over there. It was unbelievable. But I think we've moved past him. I just think let him.
Noah, shut up.
Controversial.
Like, I love Zaniolo, but Grealish shits all over Zaniolo.
I know.
Like the fact we even had to start him.
I just think that we've moved past Grealish. Honestly, do I want him to come back? Yes. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I wouldn't be making him captain or anything like that. I'd bet.
No.
On FIFA, I bring him back. I do. I don't know why.
The footballing ability, I think it's the off-field antics. I think he's still partying hard, and Guardiola's had enough of it as well. And I actually think Unai Emery would be a bigger hard ass than Guardiola, but he can get the best out of anyone.
All right, you've been appointed captain of a 5-a-side team.
Sweet.
Which 4 players from the current Villa squad would you pick to make up the rest of your team? And what position would you be in the team?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm playing a midfielder. I'm playing centre mid. I'm just dishing all the passes. I'm a distributor.
Okay, so who are you like? Well, what sort of profile a centre midfielder are you?
Look, I'll go for a Villa midfielder. I'm like a Gareth Barry kind of player.
Give it, get it.
Yeah, I'm just a hard nut. I just do what I got to do to win the footy for the boys. In goals, it's a hard choice. Obviously, I'm going to go for Marshall. No, I'm going for Martinez in between the sticks. Obviously,
yeah.
Ezri Konsa, I think, is just has to be picked. Musa Diaby, and I'm going to go John McGinn with me. So it's a 1-2-1 formation.
1-2-1. Okay. What about you, Tommy?
Okay, I'm gonna be a bit.
Now Tommy's actually good at football. He was actually good at football, so he'll think about this.
How do you know this? Who told you?
You
told you about my antics back in the day. I was a bit of a star when I was.
He was a budding Socceroo.
Yeah, nearly. So I'm gonna go Pau Torres. He's gonna be my only defender. I'm gonna manage this side. We are going no goalkeeper. We're just all out fucking attack and Torres, right? So Torres centre back. I'm gonna go Tielemans in Torres and Tielemans.
Yeah.
No, Torres Tielemans. Torres Tielemans. What is it? You got 5, right? Torres Tielemans, Kamara, Diaby, and Bailey. You won't even touch the fucking ball.
But you've got to be in the team.
You got to be in the team.
No, you said my position. I'm manager.
But Rod just said you have to be in the team.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I'll take out what's his name? I'll take out Kamara. So it'll be me, Tielemans.
So you're playing like Rush goalie here.
Absolutely, mate. We've got Pau Torres, Torres, me and Tielemans in front, and then it'll be Diaby and Bailey in front of us too.
I like it.
So we're just all out speed. It's 5-a-side. You're not going to be headering a ball.
All right, I'm going to go Kamara as my defender because he can do a bit of everything.
Surely you have a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I got a goalkeeper. Emmy. I'm in the midfield with Tielemans and then Ollie up front.
I like it. My team wins because I'm the best player here, so I control it.
I think mine gives you a run, mate. You'll be touching the ball. I don't think you touch the ball.
Yeah, no, we win
I don't touch the ball when I play anyway.
I just kick the shit out of you two, and then that would be it.
All right, buddy.
All right. Next question from Roger. Looking at our strikers over the year, who would you start, bench, and sell out of Christian Benteke, Danny Ings, and Ollie Watkins?
I'll go first. Sell Danny Ings. I think
Yeah,
that's
I think that's pretty obvious. Yeah.
This is the tough one, though. This is the really tough one. Are we
Here
talking
go.
prime Benteke? Like, go.
Yes, absolutely, mate.
I'm going to
Absolutely.
start prime Benteke and bench Ollie
Yes,
Watkins.
yes. Where's his dirty fucking shorts that you
I'm
bastards made me open?
I'm gonna start Ollie because
Who are you selling?
you get Danny Ings.
Yeah. We've got signed Benteke shorts for a reason. You bastards made me open them.
Mm.
They still smell like he's training nuts as well.
I think there's a tag on him.
Mate, proper. I'm
Okay, so he's got another question here. Based on these loan players that we've had over the years, who would you start, bench, and sell? Robert Snodgrass, Nicolo Saniolo, Tammy Abraham.
Start Tammy.
Yeah.
Sell Snodders, bench Saniolo.
Yeah, that seems.
And I loved Robert Snodgrass. I really love Snodders. But there's a bit of a difference between the caliber of the player.
Yeah, I think also we're talking prime Zaniolo from Roma days, or was it Milan?
Well, no, we're talking about what he's done for Villa, I think.
Well, Snodders was a beast.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be starting Snodders. Mate, the guy bled claret and blue.
He was pretty good, Snodders, but
and also he's a set piece specialist.
He came up with some clutch goals at the end of matches.
I just looked at that one against Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, yeah.
Yeah, that was a belter. Actually, that was one of Owen's first Villa on Tour videos that he did by himself. And Max missed that game, but Owen did it. So shout out to Owen. What a man.
Wow.
Shout out to Owen, carrying the team. I know how you feel, Owen.
Okay, you're sitting up in the upper tier of the whole team when Tommy produces a load of cash from his magic hat. What would you order as your halftime snack food of choice?
Now,
Meat
I've had
pies,
some of these foods.
Sausage rolls, hot dogs, burgers, chips, sweets, peanuts, or crisps.
They do an amazing curry chips at Villa Park. They did when I was last there.
That's what I'm getting. I'm getting the Balti pie. Yeah, the Balti pie on top of the chips with the curry sauce all on it.
Yeah,
that's
do
what
a
I'm
great
getting
feed.
every time.
So when I was there last in the Upper Trinity, I sat. I went and got curry chips and a pie and a Coke. So I'd get exactly the same deal again. And it was quite reasonably priced, so I'll take that.
Hot dog with mustard and ketchup and chips. Simple, man. And a Coca-Cola.
Nice. Well, there you go. There's another one.
And actually, I'd buy drinks for everyone in the whole team because
of course you would.
My hat full of money.
Wow.
Why not?
That's a fair point. I like it.
Okay, Tommy can sometimes be very harsh when talking about players. Give marks out of 10 or place in order of best to rubbish the following Villa players.
This is just for Tommy, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, Ross McCormick, Danny Drinkwater, Ludwig Augustusson, and Morgan Sanson.
Sanson gets a fucking 10. I thought he was a star just to get
I know you love Sanson.
You know that. I think I'm not gonna lie, I'm not slating off McCormack that hard. I think he's like a 6. I think he was all right. Like when
I think he was probably better than Danny Drinkwater.
Danny Drinkwater, he's getting like a -4. And who was the last one? Augustusson. He actually played half decent in one of our games. I think.
Yeah, he didn't play very often, but
there was
a
game I was at. It was Leeds away last year. And
it was awful.
It was his first start for Villa, first start, and within 10 minutes did his hammy.
Right.
So that was awesome of him.
Wow. So I'll give Augustusson a 2 just for showing up, but we didn't get to see much of him. Drinkwater was I think it was just past his best, honestly.
He's a 0, yeah.
It was buying expired food.
Less than 0.
I can't believe he won the league, that guy.
With Leicester. He was actually good for Leicester, though.
But
the Chelsea move that killed him.
You know who's good for Leicester? He's a freak. That Dewsbury Hall. I'd love to have him on the bench.
Yeah, I rate him. I'd like him in the team for sure.
Crack and play.
Yeah, all right. Okay, well, that's it from Roger's questions, I think. But send us more,
Roger.
Yes, please.
We love you. The questions, Roger.
And that'll be it for the video. But before we do, we didn't get your predictions, Noah.
I was going to say, I thought I was getting forgotten about, to be honest. I mean, it's fair enough, but...
So give us your predictions quick.
2-1 against City. 2-1 win. I'm going to go with a Diaby brace.
Yeah.
And I think a 1-0 win. A clean sheet against Arsenal.
Clean sheet. That's gonna. Well, that would be a pretty good week, and let's all cross our fingers and hope that we can have a good week because we're getting to the really exciting part of the season. If we can come out in 2024 still in the top four, still in touch with the likes of Liverpool and Man City and Arsenal, then we've got a really exciting second half of the season, ahead.
Yep.
We've got also another thing I didn't mention. We drew Middlesbrough away in the FA Cup.
I was going to say, yeah.
Which, yeah, I think that's a really good draw. It's better than the Man United away that we've had the last, it seems, 17 years in a row.
I'll take United. I'll take United.
And, I would take United now as well. But, it's good to get someone we haven't played before. It would have been nice to get a Blues or a West Brom or someone like that.
How's Sunderland getting Newcastle?
Yeah, Sunderland, Newcastle, Arsenal.
That's gonna be pretty good. I reckon it'll be a great turnout.
Yeah, I do like the FA Cup. I watched a few of the second round games on the weekend. They were interesting to see these little grounds, and a few of them did make it through to the third round. So, no, looking forward to that Middlesbrough game away and for the rest of the season. So please, thanks for all your support. Last video was great. Leave a comment, leave a like, hit the notification, and please like and subscribe and all that. And you can catch us on the Spotify as well if you want to just listen to the podcast. We'd really appreciate you to go over there and give us the 5-star review on your podcast app of choice. And we will be back after Man City. So up the Villa, and we'll see you then. Later.
TV.